and welcome to Conspiracy and the Truth. I am your host, HR, and tonight I want to talk to you about solutions to the quantum effect. And you know, I, more than anybody else, or less than anybody else, have been hunting my white whale for the last 2 years, almost 3 years now. Um, and I've went through hundreds of would-be solutions, and each one looking promising and then dropping it for the next solution. And I want to talk to you about that. Um, I've noticed um, a lot of people are going through the same things that I did, basically rehashing the same trails that I did, and pretty much um, renewing the same work that I did 2 years ago. Um, and I have to ask myself a question, and I have to ask all of you a question, and that is, what happens if we really find a solution? Is it going to matter? Are we going to be able to change things? Now, I've been racking my brain trying to um, come up with an answer to that question. Whether it's I'll spread it, and hopefully it'll catch on and go worldwide, and the group as a whole, the whole community will um, step in and help me change things. But the reality of it is, ultimately, whatever power has the power to change reality pretty much is above us. We can say and keep our desires, our viewpoints, our hopes that we can make a difference. That one man can make a difference. We've always been told this, um, but is it true? Is it true that one man can make a difference, or is it true that a group can make a difference in this situation? Any more than it could have, say, in a world war, or you know, a nuclear calamity or something. Are we able to create a worldwide change? And the more I think about it, and the more I stew over it and puzzle the question, the more I'm beginning to think that you know um, finding the solution is I don't know if it's going to make a difference. I don't know if we're going to be able to change things for the better. Now, that being said, I know it sounds a bit fatalistic and a bit on the dark side, but we have to face all the questions, all the answers. I mean, if we're going to find the truth, then we have to find the truth. Wherever it leads us, we have to follow it. And we have to ask the hard questions, questions that maybe we don't want to ask. And that is, um, if we do find the solution, are we going to be able to change things? And do we want to? You know, um, let's consider this point a little further. What happens if the Mandela effect or the quantum effect happened for a reason? Say, our world was at the brink of destruction, and somehow, some way, a government or all the governments of the world got together and did something to change it. And in doing that something, maybe it got out of hand, maybe they couldn't control it, maybe they didn't foresee all the eventualities, maybe they, you know, maybe it was just beyond them, beyond their technology, beyond anything they were expecting, and it spiraled out of control. And now they're just trying to, you know, um, keep it quiet, more or less, you know, because that's all they can do. Now, this is just one scenario. There are hundreds I've considered, but in this scenario, would we really, want to try to do something about it? I mean, if all the governments of the world combined couldn't stop it, how can we? And knowing the truth, you know, while it would be at least um, heartening to understand why these things are occurring, it doesn't change anything, you know. But I mean, we can consider other possibilities, such as what if this is something that was beyond humankind's ability to intervene in at all? Maybe something beyond us did it. Now, whether that was something good or something bad, I don't know. I'm just throwing this idea out there to think about. And how would knowing that change anything? Could we stop it? One person, five people, 100 people. If all the governments of the world couldn't do it, what makes us think we can? So I ask you again, why are we trying to find a solution to this dilemma? Now, as I've said, I've considered it in depth over the years. I've really thought about it. And, I wanted to try to have the highest possible motives, the highest uh, view of this. I wanted to believe, that we could make a difference. We could change things. And I still believe we can. I just don't know if it's in finding a solution to it. Um, I don't know if we can stop it. I don't know if we could change it. It's been happening for a while now, and from what I've seen, the changes get more and more convoluted and larger. Um, I've seen all kinds of body changes, geographic changes, um, changes on a galactic scale. Um, I've seen, obviously the smaller changes, which I never understood to begin with. They just come and they go. It's kind of irrelevant. But I wonder, what can we do to make a difference as we search for this answer, this splinter which is stuck in us that just keeps niggling at us day after day, pushing us forward. And I've come to the realization that yes, it's important that we figure it out. We figure out the solution, but not so much on the bigger scale, the macro scale, but perhaps on the micro scale. If more and more people are experiencing the Mandela effect, the quantum effect, then it's up to us to help these people get through these trying times when they find out that their reality is not quite what they thought it was. It's not quite what it seems. Um, I've uh, I've been trying to do my part to help others um, belay their fears and kind of help them get through the day. Really, I mean, when you first find out about this, it's an all-encompassing thing. It drives you. It becomes an obsession, and you, hour after hour, day after day, hunt this whale. As I said in the beginning, like Ahab did for his whale, you hunt the elusive creature, which is a solution. Will you find it? I don't know. I only know that the hunt is comforting in itself because it gives your mind something to do. It gives you the feeling that, you're taking charge of the situation, even if taking charge of the situation is just trying to find an answer. You're looking for that legendary beast, which many know exists, but few have ever seen. You know, you're trying to find the one needle in a proverbial galaxy size hay pile, you know? And if you look all your life and you never find it, it's not surprising. I mean, just think when you were born and you were a child, you believed in fairy tales and you believed in other things, and reality wasn't that solid for you. And then as you grew up, you begin to realize that the world is a hard, place. It's hard and fast, and you begin to think that everything is rigid and set in stone and immovable. And then when you encounter the Mandela effect, the quantum effect, it's like you're a child again. You don't know what's coming next. And you didn't as a kid either. Of course, as a child, you didn't know what was possible and what wasn't. So, in that sense, we're all children again because pretty much anything is possible with a quantum effect. Anything can happen. And in that comparison, at least, we were sort of made young again. But what I really want to talk about right now is ultimately what are we going to get out of it? And I know that there are those who will say, well, we can solve this problem and we can make a solution. We can, you know, uh, uh, make a difference. But having puzzled this question for now almost 3 years, I've come to the conclusion that if we accomplish nothing more with the solution than gaining peace of mind and understanding it, then that is an accomplishment in itself. Because I've seen a lot of people suffering. I've seen people literally close to the deep end, to taking their own lives because they don't know what's real and what isn't. I've seen people's marriages break up and because they don't necessarily know if the person they're married to is the same person or their children are their children. I've seen all these things and it saddens me because I realize how much pain they're all going through, how much they're suffering needlessly. Because if we all would stop um, fighting over things such as solutions or is mine right, is yours right, if we all stopped worrying about you know uh, well, is this from the devil or God, just live our lives each day best we can, doing the best we can, then I think we can make a difference. We can go out and try to help some people. We can help the people in line that are struggling. We can stop calling each other names and worrying about which one is from which camp, whether it's New Age or Bible, or whether it's from science or you know uh, whatever, and worry more about the people that are suffering. I think that that's a worthy cause. Each one of these people, each life is a worthy cause. And so we consider the solution again. And we ask ourselves, if we find it, can we stop it from happening? And I'm, I don't know. My opinion is, I, I don't know. I mean, if it's big enough to change reality as a whole, I think it's a little bit above our pay grade, don't you think? And I think that what we're searching for really is simply peace of mind, be able to get through the day, you know, be able to care about other people, not just ourselves, and our own pursuits, our own quests, you know, again, for that elusive answer, for that, all encompassing quantum effect that, we'll solve this thing once and for all. I think it benefits us to live each moment as if that's all we have, you know? Because quite honestly, all we really do have is that moment. We know that time all exists at the same time, past, present, and future. And if that's true, then we live in the moment. And if we can find this quantum effect answer, then it'll bring us peace of mind. But we have to spend each moment as if that's all we have. So we can help each other, and we can make each other's lives a little better, or we can waste it. I guess that's up to you. So I leave this thought with you. Um, it's not the end that's the answer, but it's how we get there. That's the answer. And I hope this idea, in my opinion, helps you get through your day a little bit easier. And hopefully you'll tune in to another podcast and we can talk again, huh? I'm going to put my blog addresses in the about on the website on my webpage in case you guys want to go and view my blogs. And if you like what you hear, go ahead and push subscribe and hit the bell so you can have updates. And I'll talk to you again soon, huh? Have a good evening. Good night.